The Los Angeles Lakers just won the 2020 NBA championship, but if we hypothetically put them up against the 2019 NBA champion Toronto Raptors, who would come out on top in a 7-game series? Welcome to Amateur Hour Sports, where we are getting close to 600 subscribers on the channel. So if it is your first time watching me here today and you like what you see, you want more NBA content with a focus on the Toronto Raptors, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. But on to today's topic, just a fun question I got asked about last week: how the Raptors of last season would fare against the Los Angeles Lakers of this season. And it was a very interesting question. I didn't really know how to answer it immediately. It kind of analyzing both teams, I think it is a very closely knit series, and ultimately it's hypothetical completely. It doesn't make a difference, but it's something fun, and I wanted to talk about it today. So the LA Lakers probably would have to play their big lineup against the Toronto Raptors. Toronto Raptors are able to play big, and they are able to play small ball if they have to, especially the one from 2019. The Lakers fared better against the Miami Heat when they took Dwight Howard out of the starting lineup and added in Alex Caruso. But I think if they were playing against the Raptors, they would have to use bigs. They would have to play Dwight Howard at the 5 to start the game because the Raptors are a big team. Marc Gasol was on the team and was much better than he was this season back in 2019. Serge Ibaka was also balling at the time. Pascal Siakam is very good at the power forward position. He'd probably be matched up against Anthony Davis. So I think the Lakers would have to go big. You're probably looking at the key lineup for the Raptors. Even though Danny Green started games, Fred VanVleet would be the key figure off the bench because Danny Green wasn't shooting well in the playoffs in 2019. Even though he had a great regular season, just was not finding it in the playoffs, and that continued into this season where the Lakers, and he wasn't on it in the playoffs this year for the Lakers. So what's good is that the Lakers didn't have a replacement for Danny Green in the starting lineup, but Fred VanVleet came in for the Raptors, not as a starter, but he came in and got more minutes. So Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet started off for the Raptors, then you got Kawhi Leonard, then you also have Pascal Siakam and Serge Ibaka or Marc Gasol. You can have either or there. Marc Gasol was playing much better last year, shooting much better from 3. The Lakers, you got KCP, you've got probably Danny Green at this 2 guard, LeBron at the 3. I'd say AD at the 4, and then at the 5 you have Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee. You probably have Dwight Howard there. Now the key matchup obviously is LeBron James, the now 4 times Finals MVP, against Kawhi Leonard, the 2-time Finals MVP. That is the clash of the Titans. Those are the 2 big bosses in the NBA, arguably the top 2 players in the NBA going at each other. And for the most part, I think it's even. I think they just basically cancel each other out. But I think ultimately LeBron slightly comes out on top. There's only so much you can do against LeBron James in the finals of an NBA championship. So LeBron James still gets his. Kawhi Leonard will still get his. But Kawhi can mitigate LeBron a little bit. He's still going to get points, but he won't be as dominant as normal. But neither will Kawhi because he's going up against LeBron James as well, probably switching on to AD sometimes. Where the difference, I think, is going to lie is the guard play. The fact of the matter is the Toronto Raptors have elite, essential guard play, which really, really helped Kawhi Leonard last season. You saw in the playoffs this year, the lack of point guard play on the Clippers was ultimately their downfall, and it really disrupted Kawhi Leonard's play. He needed those point guards like Fred VanVleet, like Kyle Lowry, and the Raptors are much better in the point guard category than the Lakers. Sure, you've got Rajon Rondo. Sure, KCP was hitting his shots and doing really well in the final. Danny Green was off it. The Raptors also have Danny Green, but Fred VanVleet is utilized more. And Danny Green on the Raptors still had that great defense, and he still had on the Lakers, but the Raptors get to play him less. The Lakers have to play him more, and that is a negative thing for the Lakers the way he was playing because we can replace him with Fred VanVleet, who was shooting lights out after the birth of Fred Jr. in the conference final. So in the NBA final, Fred VanVleet had that game 6 with 22 points. Was it 16-point second half? So Fred VanVleet comes out on top there. Kyle Lowry definitely comes out on top in any battle against KCP or against Rajon Rondo. Sure, Rondo, playoff Rondo is a very real thing, but Kyle Lowry, a great defender, and going the other way, Rajon Rondo, not a great defender, KCP, a decent defender, but Kyle Lowry is just so much better. Kyle Lowry wins that matchup all day long. The Raptors guard play just wins that matchup all day long. You get on the interior, and now there's a bit of a problem. Guarding Anthony Davis is not going to be easy, especially for Pascal Siakam. There's probably going to be a lot of switching. You're going to have to get Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol also helping on that, which could leave Dwight Howard a bit open. But you got to put a lot of focus on Anthony Davis. What's great, though, is that Pascal Siakam can space the floor, giving more space on the interior for other guys to drive in, because you want to keep AD out of the paint. You saw in Game 5 of the Lakers series against Miami this year that Miami just could not do anything when AD was parked in the paint. And because he was playing the 5, he was always waiting in the paint because Bam Adebayo could not space the floor. He was waiting and he was smothering people on their layups getting to the rim. So AD, a key figure here, but it's great that Pascal Siakam can take him on to the perimeter. Now, if you don't want that to happen, you want AD to stay in the paint, you got to put AD at the 5 guarding Serge Ibaka, Marc Gasol, but they as well can space the floor. Marc Gasol can sit in the high post and be that playmaker, still keeping AD out of the paint. And because Marc Gasol was still hitting threes in 2019, Marc Gasol can space the floor. And if AD doesn't follow him, Marc Gasol can hit his shot. So what's great is that the Raptors can space the floor with all 5 players who would be on the court at any given moment because both of their bigs can shoot threes. Pascal Siakam has a lot of switchability, can play on the interior, can play on the outside, hit his corner threes. In 2019, he wasn't hitting all his threes, but hit the corner ones, and he was hitting them much better than he did in this year's rendition of the playoffs. And if you wanted to play AD at the 5, let's say, and he was in the paint, who would you have to put on Pascal Siakam? Maybe Kyle Kuzma, maybe Markieff Morris playing the 4? Neither of those guys are stopping Pascal Siakam in the post. Like Draymond Green, the self-proclaimed greatest defender of all time, definitely is not that, but still, nonetheless, a good defender. Draymond Green was getting sauced up by Pascal Siakam in the 2019 NBA Finals. So Pascal Siakam has a great time if AD's at the 5. And if AD's at the 4, Pascal Siakam's on the perimeter, allowing the elite guard play of the Raptors, Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, the way they were playing in the finals, the way they played in that ultimate Game 6, they are getting stuff done for the Raptors. Now, what the Lakers do have going for them is great offensive talent. Again, AD is going to be a problem for the Raptors to guard. LeBron is always a problem, even with a guy like Kawhi Leonard on him. It's great that you have Kawhi Leonard who can mitigate what LeBron can do, but LeBron James, when it comes to final, is a different beast. He's already the best player in the NBA, best basketball player in the world, but he just switches on something else when he gets to the finals as well, which gives him to a whole new level. And even though Kawhi Leonard is such a formidable defender, it would be tough to stop LeBron James in this series. I think ultimately this is a very close series. I think the Raptors are the better team when it comes to their backcourt. When you go to the front court, the Lakers have the edge, with AD, LeBron getting busy at the rim, can post up. LeBron's got a huge back. He can do a lot to hurt the Raptors. Dwight Howard would be good on defense. He could protect the paint as well, even if it's not AD. But what the Raptors have is 5 guys who can spread the floor and 5 guys who can get their points and who can get it done in the big moments. The Lakers, KCP was getting it done. Danny Green was not really getting it done for the Lakers. Rondo was getting it done, but with great guard defense like the Raptors have, they got better guard play they certainly have better guard play than the Miami Heat had. And Miami Heat took this Lakers team to 6 games, and they don't have nearly as talented of a team that the Toronto Raptors had last season. Like Jimmy Butler, the comparable would be Kawhi Leonard, who is much better than Jimmy Butler, in my opinion. Full respect to Jimmy Butler, but you all day have Kawhi Leonard ahead of Jimmy Butler. When you look at guard play, let's say Dragic is healthy. He wasn't, but even if he was, I'm taking Kyle Lowry over him any day of the week. Tyler Hero or Fred VanVleet. Look, I love Tyler Hero, but Fred VanVleet is just simply better than him. It's that simple. Bam Adebayo, you got let's say Bam Adebayo's at the 4. You've got Pascal Siakam dealing with him at the 4. I'm taking Pascal Siakam over Bam Adebayo. Pascal Siakam, an all-star game starter. I'm definitely taking Pascal Siakam in this situation. You go to the centers, the Miami Heat can't match the center play that the Toronto Raptors have in Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol. If Bam Adebayo's there, it's a bit better, but you also got to worry about Pascal Siakam. So the Raptors have a much better team than this Miami Heat team who took the Lakers to 6 games. I think just the sheer amount of weapons that Toronto have would allow them to win this series against the Lakers. And basically, the only argument I can make for the Lakers in this scenario is you have LeBron James and you have AD. And typically, teams with the best player on the court in the series, who I think in this series it would be LeBron James, the best player on the court gets their team the wins. But I think just the Raptors have so much going for them that they would be able to win this series in 6 or 7 games. Obviously, we would never see this playoff series. This is all hypothetical. But just looking at it, the only way the Lakers could win, because they're not going to win it through their guard play. The Raptors are just much better there. The only way they can win is just by LeBron willing that team to victory. The Raptors in the bubble this year did a fantastic job playing against the Lakers. Before the playoffs started, they played the Lakers in the first game back. The Raptors played some elite defense on Anthony Davis. They know how to defend him. They have the players to stop him. They doubled him. Every time he got in the post, they sent a second man to double him. They were not letting him get points. He had 7 points in that game. A super off night because of the great defense, the great schemes deployed by Nick Nurse in order to stop Anthony Davis. So the only way the Lakers win is just LeBron willing them to do it. And absolutely, LeBron is capable of doing that. But when you also have Kawhi Leonard on one of the most historic playoff runs and playoff performances of all time, you've also got a problem there. I think Kawhi Leonard can mitigate LeBron on defense enough to keep him at bay. That allows Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet, the guard play of the Toronto Raptors, to take advantage and take control of this series. And for that reason, the Raptors come out on top in this one for me. Not trying to disrespect the Lakers, fully deserved champions, but I think even this year, if the Raptors came up against the Lakers in the playoffs, I made a video about it. I think that even still, the Raptors would have beaten the Lakers this year. I think I would have changed that opinion after watching the way the Lakers were playing, watching the way LeBron was playing in the playoffs. But ultimately, I think the Lakers would have done it this year. But last year, when we had Kawhi, I think it's a different story. With everything going around in the Toronto Raptors' favor, the ability to space the floor, the ability to play defense on the Lakers stars, the ability to go small, the ability to go big and match the Lakers with those 3 7-footers, the trees they have on that team. The Raptors just have more going for them, and for that reason they win. Not an open shut series by any means, but Raptors in 6 or 7. So let me know what you think about this topic. Do you think the 2019 Raptors would have been able to beat this year's NBA champion 2020 Lakers? I certainly think so. If you agree or disagree, let me know why in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you like, and subscribe to Amateur Sports for more content just like this. NBA content with a focus on the Toronto Raptors 4 days a week. Hit the notification bell as well as stay up to date with those videos. Getting close to 600. I appreciate everybody who has been rocking with me, who continues to rock and support me, and I appreciate anybody who adds on to this number, almost getting to 600 by subscribing to the channel. At the end of the day, I believe what I say. If you disagree, that is okay. We will see you again next time for another video.